I'm Beck and welcome to the Smash or Pass Romance Book Edition. I'm going to talk about 20 different books in a rapid fire way and tell you whether I want to smash, so read them, or if I've read them before, or if I'll just pass on them and I'm not interested in reading them. So let's get into them. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne is a very popular one, and I think it's enemies to lovers in a workplace environment. Not really for me. Don't like workplace romance. Enemies to lovers can go one way or the other for me. I prefer rivals to lovers though, so pass. The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, also another popular one. This is about two roommates that work opposing shifts, so even though they live in the same place, they don't really see each other very much. It doesn't really spark any joy for me, to be honest, so also I'll pass on this one. This is a definite smash because it's red, white and royal blue and I love this book and I'm planning to reread it during October as well, so huge smash. I love Alex and Henry, they're so beautiful. This is a male-male romance with bisexual representation and I just love this story. It is hilarious, it is chaotic, but it's also heartfelt and very tender, and it touches on a lot of political issues as well as identity, which I loved, so definite smash. 5 stars. The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, which is an arranged partnership because the main female character doesn't know anything about intimacy and wants to figure it out, I think, and so she arranges for this guy to show her, and they obviously form a romance based on that arrangement, but reading the blurb, I didn't care. So, probably a pass. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I've pretty much avoided anything by Christina Lauren because the things they write and their writing style doesn't really appeal to me. So even though this is an enemies to lovers, which might be my thing, again, I prefer rivals to lovers or friends to lovers and a slow burn over time. So this one, yeah, pass. Beach Read by Emily Henry, which is a book that I recently finished and it's in my August wrap up, so smash for this one because I enjoyed it. It was such a great romance subplot story, but it mainly focused on the main character getting over her grief and understanding herself, which I really appreciate. Deep character development in romance books with some spicy scenes is definitely my thing, so huge smash. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which has just recently come up on my radar, and I don't like ice hockey at all, but this one has the main character who is part of like figure skating, and then an ice hockey player, he fills in for her injured dance partner. So a hockey player learning to figure skate. I think this sounds quite wholesome actually, and I haven't read it yet, but I've put it on hold at my library, so smash for this one even though I haven't read it yet because I want to. The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker, which is a small town romance, but set in Alaska. Pass. Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey, which I have read, and I feel like I want to go back and unread it because while it was not necessarily terrible, it just wasn't a book that I particularly loved, and I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend it either. I mean, it's just a Tessa Bailey book that was like subpar for me, so pass. Well Met by Jen DeLuca, which is another small town one, and it's got a Renaissance fair, potentially rivals to lovers, so I definitely smash. Honestly, it was the Renaissance fair vibe that really sold it to me. The rivals to lovers, I'm still on the fence about whether it's actually a trope in this book, but I wouldn't put it past it. It sounds like it would be. Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, which is a definite smash. I love this book, 5 stars. This is about Chloe trying to get her life together, and she makes a list to do that, and then she runs into Red, who is living in the same apartment complex as her, and you get his perspective and her perspective. It was very steamy, and it also had great character development, and she's also got a chronic illness, which is also just refreshing to see because it adds a dynamic and a different representation to the story as well. So I like that it was diverse in that way, and it was just really fun. Then we've got The Friend Zone, which is a story that discusses a protagonist who has to have a medical procedure very, very shortly, and the love interest wants a very big family. So this one discusses infertility, and I don't want to read that, so pass. The Worst Best Man, which is an enemies to lovers about someone being left at the altar and then she ends up falling for the best man instead. Sometimes I look at romance and I'm like, that's a reach, and that's how I feel about this trope. Like anything about marriage with best men, ick for me personally, so pass. Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall, which is a male-male romance about a guy who needs to clean up his reputation, so they start this fake dating romance, but my friend Marie viscerally hated this book, and our tastes are very, very similar when it comes to this genre, so I feel like if I read this book, it will be a personal betrayal, and I've not really got an interest in reading it anyway, so pass. People We Meet on Vacation, another one by Emily Henry. I have a vague interest in reading this. I don't know any of the tropes about it, to be honest, and I think I prefer it that way because I didn't really know too much about Beach Read when I went into it, so I think this one has potential. I'm not interested in her newest release, which is the pink cover, because I've heard subpar things about it, but I'm happy to read her backlist after enjoying Beach Read, so smash. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, which is an absolute pass for me. The writing style was insufferable. This one also had the fake dating trope, and that trope really divides me. In this case, I was like, no. For some reason in my search, this book came up and it's Isn't It Romantic, which is for some reason the fourth book in the Romance Book Club series. Generally the series is about guys who get together and read romance books together and discuss how better to please their girlfriends or wives or whatever, which is, I guess, a cute and hilarious concept, but I don't think I would like it. And this book in particular has like a Russian mobster background and an arranged relationship, and they're trying to, as a group, save this guy's relationship because they didn't initially feel the spark, but he's like, I want to feel the spark. I don't think it'll be for me, so pass. It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, another Tessa Bailey book, but this one I actually liked, so smash. This is about Piper, who is a rich, basically princess-esque character, and she gets knocked down a few pegs when her dad's like, no, you need to repent for your actions, go to the small town that you were initially raised in and make a name for yourself and actually do some hard work for a change. So when she's in this little town, she runs across this fisherman who is very grumpy. So it's sunshine and grumpy, which is a trope that I really like. And I think it was pulled off very well in this story. It was a 4 stars for me, probably a 3.5 to 4, but I liked it enough to give it a smash. Final Flight by Samantha Young, which is a hate at first sight story, which is ridiculous to me. I don't like it when people go, don't like you. Dude, come on, be mature, get to know them first, and then make an assessment. If they've done something minor that you've misinterpreted, fair enough, you can be rivals to lovers. I find the whole hate to love and enemies to lovers, where they're like hardcore enemies, way overdone, so complete pass. Then we've got 99% Mine by Sally Thorne, which is the last book on this smash or pass romance list, and this one is a friends to lovers romance where the protagonist, she is falling for her brother's best friend, and they're also fixing up a house. I don't know why like house renos are a theme in romance books, but I don't dislike it, I guess. It's just, you know, something common I've noticed. But anyway, I think this would be a smash for me. I'd be keen to give it a try and see what the vibe is like. But after saying I want to pass on The Hating Game, I think also by Sally Thorne, I'm not sure, I'll have to look up reviews. But there you go, that is the end of this romance smash or pass edition. If there are any books in here that you felt personally offended by or that I didn't include, let me know down in the comments. But thank you again so much for watching this video. I'll come chat to you down below and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.